everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to Lookback. This is where I go through the reviews that I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago. We see if there's any changes or what I think about the games now. Or if nothing else, it's a reminder that these games exist. So let's go back a year. It's only been a year since I did Hako Ono. This was one that none of us here in the studio liked at all, although we wanted to like it for the theme, that creepy theme of the girl jumping out and getting you from under the bed. It sounded interesting, and the cover is certainly spooky enough looking, but the game itself is too clunky and just doesn't work. Oh My Gold, which is a terrible name, a push your luck style type game for kids, just didn't work very well. Beagle or Bagel. Okay, the name is funny, the concept's funny. You quick look at something, is it a beagle or a bagel? But also, that's the whole game. Choose Your Own Adventure, War with Evil Power Master. So this is the second Choose Your Own Adventure, and I still liked it. I just didn't like it as much as the first one. It's actually a better game, and there's more replayability. It just isn't as... It's more silly to be. It's hard to explain. It's written with the tongue in its cheek, which they all are to some degree. But the other one took itself more seriously, which was ridiculous. This one you could tell was being silly. I don't know. It's still good though. Bloomtown. This is a place it's a city building game where you place tiles out. There are also flowers that kind of bloom. There's some interesting concepts. A nice abstractish type game. All Manner of Evil. I thought about dropping this one down half a point. I still like it. It's a little bit of a Take That Cthulhu-esque game. Jetpack Joyride. This one I thought about raising up a half point. Well, wait, maybe when 5 years we'll change our mind. This one is just you're building a path. It's following the app, which I never did play, but it's following a path going through with these polyomino tiles. Works really well. Very light game, but fun and silly. Homebrewers. This is a game in which you are collecting cards and trying to brew the best different kinds of brews. Has some very nice mechanisms to it and drafting involved with. I was very pleased with this one. It might have gotten lost amongst a lot of the other games that came out, but a good mid-weight game. Sprint. This is earlier I mentioned Oh My Gold. This is in the same line, but this one I liked a lot more. It's a racing game for kids that just works really well. And then Skull Hollow. Wow, I like Skull Hollow. What a great asymmetrical two-player game. I know they're coming out more things for this, but one person playing a giant monster, other people playing the heroes trying to take the monster down, woodland heroes. And it's also light and simple, lots of variety. Highly recommend it. All right, 5 years ago. PBL Robots. This is in that genre of build your own robot, and it's just not a good one at all, which is too bad because I really like this idea. Duplic. This one was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, actually, where you just describe crazy pictures. You draw a crazy picture and describe to everybody else, and they have to make sure they draw it, and they have to have certain aspects in it. Graveyards, Ghosts, and Haunted Houses. This is a sequel to Zombies, Pirates, and Ninjas, I think. Basically, it's a tile-laying game. It's very simple, but it works well for kids, and the artwork is nice. Jolly Roger, the Game of Piracy. This is from Frederick Moyerson. It's an okay pirate card game. TikTok. You always have to spell this one out when you're like, hey, can you buy me TikTok? And that's spelled T-I-C-T-A-L-K. Anyway, you're using, the one concept that I liked is the amount of time that you use to make the clues is the amount of time that the other team has to guess them. So that's interesting. But the rest of the game is just kind of a basic word game. Me want cookies. I like the concept. There's another one for kids where you're just following paths there, putting them down. This works well for younger kids. Pinata Party. This has really nothing to do with candy. It's a very, very abstracted game. I think the components could have been nicer, but it worked well for what it was. Double Mission, Beyond the Object. This is a really cool spy-looking game. And again, it's just okay. Cave Troll. So I believe 5 years ago I reviewed the 10-year anniversary or the 5-year, it had to be at least the 10-year anniversary. Cave Troll's a fine game for today. It's gone a little stale for me. It's okay at this point. The concept is neat. A cave troll, you're just placing different people out in a different cavern trying to control them. It's a bit of an area control game. It's just one of those games I think that's faded for me a bit with time. Chronicler. This is an interesting little tech game. Although, unlike a tech game that I'm reviewing today, this one, the tech is more just there as a framework. It's not really, you don't feel like you're building the different techs, but it's still a clever little card game. It's good. Automobiles. This is in the trilogy, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This one is probably, well, Trains is the best of the series, but this one's much better than Planes for sure. This is a racing game. It's a bag building game where you pull cubes from a bag, and that's how you race your car around the track. I think slightly nicer components would have helped, but still, this one is a unique racing game. I've not seen anything else like it. Tiny Epic Galaxies. Wow, 5 years ago, huh? This is the Tiny Epic game that I personally like the best. Tiny Epic Quest is also pretty good, but this one works really well. And in fact, Dice Tower Library, we have a Epic Galaxies, nothing tiny about it. We enlarged the game, or someone did it for me. Potion Explosion. Another game that's been out for 5 years. This game, based on an app where the marbles roll down, was an instant hit, probably one of the most popular games to come out that year, and is still being played today. Castles of Mad King Ludwig's Secrets. This took the Castles of Mad King Ludwig and put it in kind of a castle grid for people, which worked really well. Added some more extra things to the game, but I think this is a not essential expansion, but pretty close to it. Port Royale. I thought about making this one go up to a 9. I love Port Royale. It's a great push your luck game. There's lots of expansions for it. Very simple. Flip over a card and decide when to stop. This one I just keep coming back to. It's just a great little game. And Ticket to Ride, Map Pack 5, the UK and Pennsylvania. For sure, this is my favorite of all the Ticket to Ride map packs. The UK side is the most complex one with the tech tree, and you can't even do different things till you build up. It's like the very top tier of complexity, but fun for Ticket to Ride. And the other one, very simple, Pennsylvania, but you collect shares. I just like both maps a lot. All right, and finally, 10 years ago, just a few reviews, Charon Incorporated. This is an area control game, which actually had some interesting ideas of placing control in a corner or placing it in between two or on one, and they had different strengths, but it was so boring and so abstract, it just was not a fun game. Dominant Species. I know, this is anathema. I'm going to get emails. Dominant Species is a great game. I still think it's a great game. It just dropped a little bit for me, mostly because of time and getting it to the table. That's all. I still think it's a very good game. Masters of Venice. This one here is from R&R Games. This was a heavy Euro spreadsheet style game, but just didn't come together at all for me. It was too much work to be fun. And those are the reviews that I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago. Thanks so much for watching Look Back. I would like to do a quick shout out to some of our Kickstarter backers here. I want to say thank you to Stein Olson and Claude, Laura, and Eliza Bridges. Tom Butler wants a shout out to all military servicemen and women. And Gorda, thank you, Santa 2019. Hart, thank you so much for supporting the Dice Tower. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Look Back on the Dice Tower.